What if I told you the quietest meeting in El Segundo today might decide who takes the last shot in May? What if I told you a single clause, a single number, a single line on a PDF could reshape the way the Lakers close games, balance the cap, and build around their creator on the perimeter? If you click away now, you'll read pieces and sources say tweets tomorrow. But if you stay, you'll understand the why behind the number and how it could change our next 2 seasons in purple and gold. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Timing is everything. Not just game timing, contract timing. There's a narrow window where leverage, rules, and on-court value all line up. Miss it and you overpay later. Rush it and you lock yourself into the wrong shape. Right now, the board is showing a line the Lakers can walk with Austin Reaves that either keeps the ball in his hands when it matters or turns him into the biggest chip on the table dot. So here's what we're doing today. We're going to break down the exact levers the front office can pull on his deal without boxing out future flexibility. The difference between a straight extension and a renegotiate and extend. How incentives and a trade kicker can make both sides smile without handcuffing the roster. And the real basketball impact spacing pick and roll diet. Late clock options of keeping Reaves in the core versus turning that salary slot into a different archetype. No spoilers yet. I'm laying the map. Quick pitch stop. If you want legit Laker talk that respects your time and your brain, you're in the right room. Smash like, subscribe, and drop your take so this reaches more of Laker Nation that actually watches possessions, not just highlights. This is Lakers News Fan Report, and around here we chase clarity, not clout. Let's start on the floor. Reaves has turned small advantages into big ones, snaking PNR, decelerating into contact, using that inside hand finish that makes shot blockers guess. He's not just points and assists. He's a rhythm setter. When he touches, the offense breathes. When he screen slips, the defense talks. He's become the guy who makes the second read easy for everyone else. Empty corner PNR, Spain actions, delay into keeper. That matters in the last 5 minutes, when the set is the same, but the defender in front of you is meaner. Now the business. Extensions aren't vibes. They're math inside rules. Without getting lost in legalese, the Lakers have a narrow set of paths to compensate a player who's outperformed his number without detonating future moves. Straight extension rules cap the raise off his current salary. Renegotiate and extend requires cap space or some creative sequencing, but can front load to help future years. Incentives can be likely, count on the cap, or unlikely, don't count until earned, and those definitions matter more than the headline number. A trade kicker sweetens the pot for the player, but adds future costs. It's a Jenga tower. You pull the wrong piece and the next move gets harder. There's also the human layer. This fan base watched an undrafted guy turn into a closing time option and a playoff shot maker. That connection isn't fake. It's arena electricity, jersey sales, and trust on nights when the legs are heavy and the whistle is tight. You don't just account for that with spreadsheets. You honor it with a number that says, "We see you." But this is where grown-up decisions live. You still protect the build. The target is reward the player. Keep the ladder. Zoom out to the depth chart. Guard room balance is about skill stacking, not name stacking. You want a primary who bends coverage, a secondary who punishes the bend, a spacer who keeps help honest, and a point of attack defender who lets your stars save gas. Reaves has been the rare guy who blends 2 of those in one body. Secondary creator plus spacer who can put it on the deck. Swap that out for a pure 3-and-D and your half-court craft drops. Swap it for a pure on-ball star and your spacing might get cramped. The contract number isn't just a number, it's a number. Declaration of which version of the offense you're building. We also need to talk playoff translation. In April, teams top lock shooters, sit on your pet actions, and dare the secondary to beat them. Reaves' value spikes there because he can run your second and third layer, reject, rescreen, hit the short roll, relocate. That's not sexy on a spreadsheet, but it is how you win a Game 5. If you keep him, You're saying, when they take away Plan A, we like Plan B with 15 on the shot clock. If you don't, you better have a different Plan B. That's as frictionless. All right, cards on the table. The update, the Lakers and Austin Reeves camp have opened a path toward a new framework that keeps them in LA, centered on an extension structure with performance incentives and optional protections instead of a wait-and-see cliff. The contours on the whiteboard right now are a multi-year deal that starts in the low to mid-30s annually with standard raises, layered with reachable bonuses for team results and usage efficiency, plus language to keep flexibility if the roster needs to pivot down the line. Why that shape? Because it threads the needle. A starting number in that range acknowledges star adjacent impact without forcing you into hard cap. Nightmares every July. Incentives aligned to team. Success wins tax. Basically, protect the front office from paying full freight in down years while still letting the player hit his ceiling when the team does. And sticking to the commonly used raise structure, max 8% in extensions, preserves future trade math if the board changes. You're not paying for name. You're paying for playoff-proof skill with guardrails. Let's be grown-ups. What's fact? And what's reading the room? Fact. Talks have warmed around keeping Reeves long-term and aligning on a number that reflects his role in big minutes. Fact. The Lakers can construct a legal extension that rewards him while safeguarding future flexibility. Speculation. The exact dollars, the length, the timing, and the optional bells and whistles are still moving targets until signatures happen. Front offices model 5 versions of the same deal before lunch. Agents do the same from their side. But the energy is toward keep and build, not shop dash and dash flip-dot basketball effects if you lock it in now. Immediate clarity. The guard rotation calibrates around his minutes and touch count. Your offensive install leans harder into dual ball handler looks, and Spain wrinkles with him as the trigger or the spacer. Your late game menu simplifies 2 to the ball, swing, drive, spray. Keeping him also tells your bigs exactly where their touches come short roll. Dunker spot, rim runs, that predictability raises efficiency without costing anybody shine. Cap effects? The crucial piece is staggering dollars, so you're not squeezing the mid-level or eating into room you'll need for wings and bigs. An extension that climbs linearly with modest raises, paired with incentives that only hit when you're winning. Keeps the second apron in view, but not on your neck. If you structure it smart, you still have oxygen to chase length and defense at the forward spots, which is what gets you through 82 without burning your top guy's dot. What are the alternatives the room is still modeling? One is wait a year and revisit, gambling that his number doesn't jump out of your comfort zone after another leap. That's risk. If he pops in the playoffs again, you pay the we-weighted tax. Another is loosely listening on sign and trade frameworks in the distant future if a star level frontcourt answer falls in your lap. That's theory more than plan. Those deals only materialize once every blue moon, and they come with apron landmines. The third is a shorter deal at 2+1 type to keep ultimate flexibility. That's harder to sell to a player entering his prime who has already outperformed the previous discount. Let's talk risk if you do extend. 1. Overpaying for production that plateaus. Answer. Baking bonuses tied to efficiency and team wins. If the shot diet gets tougher and numbers dip, the incentives don't trigger. 2. His defense at the point of attack in later playoff rounds. Answer. You build the roster with a dog at the POA and use Reeves off ball more in those series. The contract doesn't prevent you from hunting that archetype. 3. Lock in a number that squeezes the wing room. Answer. Front load or keep the slope shallow to align with other expirings. You're not building a statue. You're building a ladder. And risk if you punt and wait, you invite noise. Every road trip becomes, is Austin happy? Every mini slump becomes, should they have traded him? That's not just a PR headache. It's a basketball tax. Players are human. Certainty is a performance enhancer. If you believe he's part of your winning identity, you pay to make certainty your friend. There's a culture piece fans underestimate. When a franchise rewards the right kind of worker, the guy who shows up, takes the coaching, raises the floor in ugly games, you send a message to the locker room. Do the right things and we'll take care of you. That matters when you're asking role players to sacrifice touches, to sprint to the corner, to set screens that bruise. It's easier to buy in when the organization's values are consistent. Let's go back to the court for a second, because this is why we watch. With Reeves locked in, the Lakers can commit to more continuity in the half court. Same ATO, same signals. More time shredding the tiny details that win playoff possessions, screen angle, pocket pass timing, footwork on the gather. The chemistry he's built with the stars isn't Instagram, it's reps. Extensions monetize that chemistry and convert it into hours of practice. Where you're building counters instead of onboarding a new lead guard feel. What's the best case version of this deal playing out? Year 1. He lives at 18 to 20 a night on high-efficiency second-side touches. Top to 10 in free throws drawn for a guard tier, 40% corner threes, and he closes 90% of games. Year 2. He adds a little more lift on the pull-up three above the break. You take one more off-dribble triple a game, and now your late clock bailout is real. Year 3. Incremental defense improvement via strength and non-stop film. No one asks him to be elite at the POA. Just survive and communicate. That trajectory fully justifies the number. What's the uh-oh version? The pull-up three stalls at league average. The foul bait gets stingier in the playoffs, and he gets hunted more in certain matchups. Your counter is roster architecture. Empower. A guard defender in your 8-man playoff group and hammer. Screening schemes that protect him without neutering your offense. None of that is rocket science. It's commitment and reps. Let's talk feel, because fans feel this before numbers. When the ball finds Reeves in the fourth, there's a collective inhale in the arena that says, "We like this." That comfort is not trivial. It supports your stars on nights their legs are cooked. It stops scoring droughts, and it teaches younger guys what a calm possession looks like. Pay attention the next time you're in the building. There's a trust there. Contracts should capture trust as much as stats. One more subtle benefit to locking him now. Recruitment. Stars and high-end role players look at who you pay and why. They want to join teams that understand how games are actually won. Rewarding a guy who turns chaos into layups is a billboard to the league that you value winning basketball traits. That matters in July when options are thin and you're trying to convince a vet wing to take your exception instead of someone else's. Where do fans come in? Right here. If the front office lands an extension in that low to mid-30s window with sane raises and incentives, are you in? If it creeps north, what's your hard stop? If a team called tomorrow waving a defensive anchor at center and picks, would you even take the meeting? Or is the door locked because guards who can create without self-combustion are rarer than we admit? I want to hear your price, your archetype preference, and your playoff logic. Talk to me below. My personal read? I'm pro-extension at the right number, and the structure floated tonight feels right. Reeves has proven he can live in the closing lineup and tilt the series with timing and touch. You don't overpay for vibes. You pay for repeatable playoff problem solving. As for labels, what we've discussed is an informed update on the direction of talks. The specifics are, by nature, fluid until they aren't. So take this for what it is: smart. Live speculation rooted in basketball and cap logic, not a press release.